We're so excited for you to join us in this last episode of our emotional health and awareness series. Kent and I are going to end on how we're regulating. Are you regulating? What that actually means. So tune in as we dive into this.
All right, so we're going to talk about regulating your emotions, regulating you in the midst of
emotions.
Yeah.
In the midst of being overwhelmed, in the midst of
this is
stress.
all in context of like having mental health.
Yeah.
Like being healthy mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, just being a healthy person. And when our emotions and our thinking and everything is like out of control, we could say it's not regulated.
Correct.
And so therefore it creates a lot of problems.
Right, especially in your marriage and in your family.
One of the things that is really important to understand about this is that, so on our last episode, we talked about emotions and about emotions can be like an internal indicator of what's going on. Emotions should be the thermometer. They cannot and never will be a thermostat.
So you should probably explain that.
They're never, so when you think about it, like, you can have a thermometer. Usually they're together, like in your house, a thermometer and a thermostat. Mm-hmm. Your thermometer is going to tell you what the condition is in the room. It's going to tell you the temperature. If you got an advanced one, it might tell you the relative humidity and, whatever. It's going to tell you what the temperature is in the room, but it doesn't actually regulate what is happening in the room.
Right.
That's where thermostat comes in, to where you adjust it. We'll say, hey, adjust the thermostat. Right. Change it. If it's 75 in the house and it feels too warm and you want it to be 70, then you go down and you adjust your thermostat and you change it to where your HVAC unit adjusts what's happening in the room.
Okay.
So our emotions are a thermometer. They tell us what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm mad. I'm frustrated. I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm whatever. I'm depressed, or I'm having those emotions, because actually you can have those emotions and it not really be what you're experiencing, or it not be defining you, but it's just what you're experiencing at the emotions. So what our thermostat is, what regulates us, is how we think and how we set our will. When we get those things in line, like, no, I'm going to start thinking right thoughts, and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to start to respond this way. Mm-hmm. That's when we change, and then our emotions will line up, and then our emotions will read, hey, it's 70 degrees in here. It feels great.
Right.
Because we've determined our thinking and our will, and it changes. It literally changes how we feel.
Yeah. So I love even that analogy about the thermostat and the thermometer. But one thing, even just like to talk this out and see it too, is that this picture, you had to recognize that it is too hot or it's too cold, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a recognition of you knowing, like, there's something going on here. I am not okay. Now, then you had to take a moment where you stopped.
Yes.
And you went and you go to the thermostat and you adjusted it to make it, you recognized it's too hot. You recognized it's too cold, and you wanted to adjust it so that you would get back to a place of being comfortable.
Yep.
And so you had to not only did you recognize what was happening in the room temperature-wise, but then you went and you stopped and you adjusted the temperature so that it could regulate to where it was. And I think that's key. Oftentimes we just have bursts of wrath, we have anger, we have uncontrolled sobbing, all these things, because there's things going on and we don't stop. Mm-hmm. We don't pause and say, what's happening right now?
So I love the whole thermostat thermometer thing. Mm-hmm. So for us to not pause and to stop and say, whoa, I got to make an adjustment here, would be equivalent to us being in our house, having the ability to go over to the thermostat and adjust the temperature, but choosing not to do it and complaining that it's too hot or too cold.
So true.
I mean, it's really a great analogy. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so hot in here. You got plenty of money in the bank. You got electricity. Everything works fine. There's no problem. You can pay for it. It's fine, but you choose not to go over to the thermostat and regulate it. And instead you're like, it's just so hot here. You call your friend up. It's so hot in my house. Oh my gosh, I know. It's so difficult when it gets hot outside. It's just so hot in here. No, you can control what is happening. You have control. You can regulate how it affects you. You cannot control how hot it is outside.
Right?
I don't care you might be able to pray and see a miracle or something, and that can happen. You could affect the weather a little bit, but generally speaking, when it's winter, it's cold. When it's summer, it's hot. You can't affect that. That's going to be what happens outside. But you know what? You can affect how it happens.
What?
And how it affects your inside.
So good.
Come on, somebody.
That's good.
Can I hear a big amen from the back row, please?
Amen.
So you can affect what's happening on the inside.
Yeah.
And you do that by you regulate your emotions, right? I mean, we're using this analogy here.
Yeah, I love that. And I even love the fact that you said you called somebody and
that's what people do.
And they just
my kids are just so out of control.
Right. They validated.
They're driving me crazy.
You not adjusting.
Yeah.
So make sure you got to be. So this just actually shows you when things are stressed, especially like, and you're in this place of chaos and being out of control. Like, who's around you, and do you have the right people around you that are going to help get you back into, like, to bring some like real clarity and solution. Like, you have what's your thermostat at? Like, why don't you go check it? And why don't you go turn it down or turn it up? Mm-hmm. Like, this is one thing, because we've talked about this and, we've been just open and honest with our kids, is that they would tell me sometimes when it was younger and I was stressed and I was reacting and not responding, they'd be like, hey mom, I think you need to like go pray, and I like to go for a run or something. And it got to the age where I could leave for just a little bit. They're like, maybe you should go like for a run and like come back because there's something going on and it's affecting how you're relating to us and talking to us. And you could get offended at that if you're not careful, but that was like, oh, I'm not okay in this moment, and I need to just go readjust my attitude. And I would leave. I would go pray. I would go run, go fellowship with the Lord, and come back and be like a totally different person.
I usually ask them to tell you that.
Oh, okay. Perfect. But like, okay, so then here's like a whole thing. Do you give permission to people without getting offended to tell you that like, your attitude is not okay right now? There's something going on. Can I help you with that? Do we need to talk about? Do we need, like what's going on with you? And let's find some resolve here.
And here's the thing, is that I got to say this. You're 100% right. You have to have people that speak truth, and you have to allow them to speak truth into you.
But
not really a but I want to put something in addition with this that goes on with it. We're not supposed to be codependent on people.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, if you have to call your HVAC guy to come out every day to fix and really probably just adjust your thermostat, because if he has to come out every day, then you either don't know how to operate your system or you need a new HVAC guy. I'm enjoying this analogy. It's going very well.
That's very costly too.
Yeah, it's very costly. So imagine if you have a friend that you, and I'm going to say, I'm going to be honest. This actually fits more for women than it does men, because women have a tendency to be like, they'll talk about, you all talk about all kinds of stuff that guys do not care to talk about at all.
But maybe they should.
Yeah, guys need to talk about things more. Women probably need to talk about things a little bit less. Like there is a middle ground there that we all need to find. But women can have a tendency to, and I'll tell you this, because I worked in homes for so many years. I'd be hanging draperies or tent and windows, and sometimes I'd be there for hours working, sometimes entire days or multiple days. And I would listen to these conversations that women would have. And they were ridiculous, man. And I'm not labeling every woman into this, okay? I'm just saying there's a difference between men and women, and it goes with the gender, that women have a tendency to be like, I just have to tell you about what Kyle said the other day. And I just couldn't believe what he did. And it was just ridiculous. And then like the next day they're talking about the same thing. And then they're talking about the same thing over and over again. And it's like, I'm just so glad I got my friend that can call and straighten me out. It's like, actually, I think you're like codependent on your friend. Codependent on your friend.
Yeah.
You got this codependency to where you cannot effectively handle your own emotions in a situation, and you call them to help you straighten you out every time.
Yeah.
That's not health.
Right.
That's weird. Well, we have somebody that should be able to shoot straight and tell us like it is and us straighten up. The ditch people can get into, and I'm not saying something here that's not normal. Now, for our listeners, this may not be normal for them, but you probably know somebody that this is normal for.
Mm-hmm.
They've always got to be like they dramatize everything. It's like, no, you handle what's happening in you. Get some skills. Learn how to handle what's happening inside of you, and stop depending on everybody else to come over and change your thermostat.
Right. It's true.
Amen.
So,
Because if we don't do that, we fall into this ditch of always having, and I literally have 15 people running through my head right now that I know that do this. They have anything that happens. Oh, I'm going to call and go through all this drama stuff. And 14 of the 15 are women, honestly. They really tend to be this way.
it's true.
It is true.
It is true. We know it.
But then guys just blow up because they don't talk about anything.
Right.
So,
So they
there's a balance.
internalize
They
it,
internalize
and then
stuff.
implosion happens. And when it happens, it spews and
And
affects.
it's a big difference between internal and external processors.
Right.
On average, women are external processors. On average, men are internal processors. Women have to learn to take care of things sometimes on their own a little bit, develop those skills. Men need to develop skills to lean into their wives in particular and say, I need help processing this. I need you to help me figure this out. Like, both of those things are important. I'm not coming down on women, but I am saying with this thing in particular, you can't be asking somebody to come over and adjust your thermostat all the time. You have to learn how to do it.
You do it because
Yeah.
it's right there. It's available to you. You can do it if you want to.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think it was my dad was telling me that whenever he was younger, he was the remote control for his dad, because that was back before they had remote controls, and he would say, "Boy, get up and change the channel. Boy, get up and change the channel." Apparently, he called him boy all the time. And so he became dependent on him to get up and make the change.
Right.
We have to be willing to get up and make the change.
That's right.
And I got all kinds of great analogies today.
You do. So one good way to do that is that before you start reacting, can you just pause?
This is the whole crux of what we need to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Will you just stop for a second? Because like even in a crisis moment, when a lot of times you're feeling overwhelmed or you're stressed or something is happening externally and you haven't processed through, like we will go into a fight or flight mode, and sometimes it feels like there isn't a second or a moment to pause and like think through something.
There's always a moment.
But there is always a moment. It isn't like the situation isn't going to get worse or more dire if you take 1 second. It takes 1 second to stop and pull yourself away from or detach yourself from that emotion or stress or whatever and say, okay, what's actually happening here? And then now how can I respond or react? Like, what do I need to do?
You got to pull a Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Stop. Collaborate and listen.
It's true. It is true.
I thought that was amazing.
That is.
But we talked about this before we started this podcast, that there's almost, for most of us, and we all deal with this, almost no difference between how we're thinking and how we're feeling and what we're saying and what we're doing. People have a tendency like to what they think and they feel that automatically determines what they do and what they say. And usually what they say and then what they do, because what we say will determine what we do.
Yeah.
But what we say is determined by how we think, and how we think, unfortunately, is often determined by how we feel.
Yeah. And
so what has to happen is it really comes in the way that we think and we process things. We have to get some spiritual intelligence.
Yes.
And how we handle things, and realize that like stuff happens, life happens, things go on, but we're not supposed to be the product of circumstances. We're not supposed to be the product of emotions.
Right.
We're supposed to be the product of a mind that's continually being renewed, and we get better at handling the things that come to us so that those things, those situations, those people, those emotions don't handle us.
Right.
But you have to pause.
If
we don't, so it's like, okay, what's the answer to regulating emotions? Because when emotions are out of control, we don't have good mental health.
No.
Like emotions run wild equals a very unhealthy
Everything.
soul.
Yeah, soul.
Mind,
like
will,
your
emotions,
mind.
and conscience, right? You could just say
Stressed.
mental health.
Yeah.
Emotions out of control equals lack of mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do we fix this? Pausing, stopping, and going, okay, what am I thinking about? And what's moving me? What's controlling me right now? Because I need to be in control of this situation and not having it move me. And as you say so often and so well, not react. I need to not react, and I need to stop, pause, and then give a proper, we could say, biblical, right, accurate, controlled response to this situation.
Mm-hmm. And this is powerful because what we're talking about is actually a fruit of the Spirit, which is called self-control.
Mm-hmm.
And we think that isn't something that we can have or possess, or it's something that we have to get, when it's actually something that we already contain, and it is a byproduct of abiding.
That's right.
So it's not even just responding to the situation, but it's responding to the Lord in the moment.
Yeah.
Giving him opportunity of acknowledging him. In Proverbs, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart.
Lean not on your own understanding.
Yes.
In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths
Yes.
straight. Yeah.
But it says to acknowledge him.
That's right.
And so, are you acknowledging him in this moment? And then a lot of times for my kids, I'll say, is this thought right now helping you?
Yeah.
Is it going to help you? And sometimes they'll say, no, it's not going to help me. And I say that to myself, is this way of thinking or how I'm looking at, is this beneficial to me? Most of the time, it's not. So then I'm like, what do I need to do? And quick things to do are just being thankful.
Yeah.
Right away.
Don't just pause. You have to do something after you pause.
Right.
Be thankful.
Be thankful.
Yeah.
And that readjusts you and recalibrates you so quickly and regulates you so quickly, because instead of accepting and holding on to stress, you hold on to the Lord.
Yeah.
And it changes everything.
Amen. Good stuff. Thanks for tuning in to Family by Design. We're so thankful you took this time to listen and participate with Liz and I as we discuss these very important things concerning marriage and family. If you're blessed by this ministry, in particular this podcast, we'd love it if you would leave a review. It'll absolutely help boost our ratings and help other people to be able to find this podcast to bless them as well. We want to give a special thanks to our partners. Those of you that partner with Ward Ministries, you make this possible. If you'd like more information about partnership, you'd like to become a partner with us, you can go to wardmen.org and find all the information there, as well as other resources. So we bless you in the name of the Lord. Thanks for tuning in.